The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. After our first dupe dream in Vintage Story, we came back to Oxygen Not Included. We then used our rockets to go to different asteroids. We went to a water-filled asteroid, a lava-filled asteroid, and we also went to a frozen asteroid to get our final crop. After going back and forth multiple times from the water and lava asteroids, we made our last and final endgame materials. While doing this, we also finished upgrading our main base, and also found both the temporal tear opener and the temporal tear. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. So, in the last stream, we had fully made our frosty planet have a self-sustaining area, which means that we were able to use the telephone after unlocking the research and call back to this colony that we're currently looking at and tell them what happened when we went through the temporal tear so that the next time we send a rocket through, we don't go to the same place, because we are trying to get to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, and landing on that asteroid halfway through was not the plan. So what we're going to be doing today is sending out another 4 dupes. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be getting a pilot going through with us. So I'm trying to think, how do we want to do this? Actually, let's look at the priorities. No, not priorities, skills. And that'll tell us who we sent through the last time, because we should have a smaller number. So we still have 2 diggers here. Why do we have 3 people here? Oh, right, because of the other asteroid. Camila Mima. We have to ignore them. So there's 2 builders. There's 1 digger. Okay, so Sophie is going to be on this rocket. So let's select crew. We want to send dupe through, or do we want to keep dupe? Let's send the new dupe that we just got, the returner. And then we want Sophie, I guess, myself. So that's a digger, mechatronics. Do we want to send the rancher? Because ranching is a long skill point thing. We also have Papa Rasputin. Wait a minute, how many pilots do we have? Huh? We have 3 pilots right now? Okay, 1, 2. This Papa Rasputin is not available. But they're still labeled here. I am very confused on why they're still labeled here. Okay, so ignore Papa Rasputin. Do we want to send a rancher? I'm looking for the other rancher. Not Camille. Ignore Camille. So from here, we should have Yalp and another rancher? Nope, we sent the rancher last time. So we're going to send the same 3 types of dupes, being a digger, mechatronics engineer, and a rancher. That's going to be this one. I think if there's anything else we have to do before we head out. Which one is this? Wandering XC. We of course have to build the inside of the rocket. So what I'm thinking about doing is just copy and pasting this, but I do want to move these so that it's a flat room here, but that would mess up with this room, meaning we can't get the telephone. So I think we'll just copy and paste this. Screenshot. If I do this, I should get everything. So then we go into here, and I should be able to go like this, or is it down one? Oh, it's got to be right here. And press play. What I should have done, cancel all that. Cancel it. Get rid of that. Duplicate crash landed. What? What? The pilot somehow crash landed on this planet instead of going through the Temple Terror. How am I supposed to save you? Well, this is why we had the pilot. Trying to think of what's in here. I don't think there's anything in here that could save them. I mean, there's a little bit of oxygen over here, but that's not going to really last. I don't think they can dig through mafic rock. Can you? Oh, they can. We could try and save them by putting them in here. We're gonna attempt to save them. Let's go like this. We'll get a little bit of dirt, or a little bit of metal. I hope. Can I use? I can't use rust. Okay. And what is this? Rocket debris. So we get the rocket back. Is that what I'm getting from this? I'm not sure, but I think I have enough to do ladders. Oh, I mean Gino. Forgot to say that earlier. And congratulations on your 5-stream streak. If I can just get that. You know, I don't think we're going to be able to save Papa Rasputin, because they should be prioritizing getting stuff over here. So, Papa Rasputin's probably going to just die. There wouldn't have been enough time to attempt to fix that. Although... Suffocate... How long do they stay suffocating? They're near death. Resuscitation by another duplicate is required for rescue. Time until death. Okay. So there's no possible way that if I started the game again, we'd be able to send the rocket over here in time. Because look at how far away they are from home. That would take about like a cycle and a half, if not 2 cycles. So they're gonna die. Did not know they would be here. We do have this now, so let's go back into here and recopy this. And I have to go right here in the corner. Place that back down. The only thing that doesn't copy over is the rocket thingy control system. And there goes the thingamabob. Now, I don't know if they're going to get a debuff from this. Because if a duplicate dies, they usually get sad, right? I don't know if that counts. And I forgot how long the autosave's taking this. So if I look at someone, are they upset? Is there... How do I even tell? Shipper, pleasant chit chat. Oh, a morning. It is going up. Okay. So they can tell that duplicate died. Alright, that's kind of cool to know about. So we could send a rocket platform over there. We could send a rover. Or look at that planet. Yeah, we could definitely put a rover over here, have them dig out a portion of this, and make a rocket platform. What is this made out of? If I deconstruct it, properties. It's 100 kilograms of steel. That's not a lot. But we could at least put a rocket over here and leave it for next time. So we could save the pilot. That way I only need one pilot. Because I'm going to assume that the pilots aren't going to die. I don't know if they're going to be able to place that one pipe with this in here. Can I cancel the building of that just so they can place that in? And they can't put the toilet in until that tile's in, so that's why the toilet's not there. Once I do that, I'll place in the toilet. I almost said tile it. Now, one thing I could do to make this look a little bit better is move just the tables up one. I think I actually am going to do that. So if I go like that, and then we carefully cancel that. Let's actually make that sure that this is on buildings only. And then we bring the two tiles up, and then we cancel these. We'll just leave the refrigerator recessed a little bit. The only other thing I think of doing is turning this door sideways, putting another door this way where this tile is, but then I would remove the phone, so I don't want to remove the phone. Where is this wire going to? Hold on a second. Do we need that? No, we don't. We could have it powering the refrigerator though, because this is for food, right? Yes. This is the radicals. Let's have the refrigerator getting power. That's cancel. I meant to do deconstruct. And then let's go back to this one and go like this. Cancel that, deconstruct these. That way there's a purpose for the wires. After this rocket goes out, we are going to have to make one more rocket. There's going to be a total of 4 rockets going through the temporal tear as of right now, unless Clay comes out with some new DLC. Okay, that just opened up almost everything on this rocket. One thing I do want to try and do is melting the rocket walls. I know it has to get an outrageous temperature. We'd have to get it above 2430 by giving it about a couple degrees before it melts. I don't know how to get something that hot. Lava already does not reach that heat. The only thing I could think of is putting magma into a refinery. How hot can magma get before it turns into rock gas? Can magma even get that hot? You can get close, but then it turns into rock gas. So I could keep doing the like superheating magma until it turns into rock gas, and then using rock gas to rock gas in... Actually, how do you heat gas? We have a thing to cool gas. Molten glass turning into rock gas kind of makes sense. But liquid uranium? The only thing that rock gas is used for is to turn back into magma. How do you heat a gas? I don't actually know the game function for that. I'm surprised. Anyway, they should be able to place this, but I think it's going to keep saying that it can't be placed because it originally was not able to, so I'm going to cancel this and just replace it. They did put the glass, or the diamond, in it, but I think it had an error going off from when it was originally placed in. Why did the vent not copy over? That seems like an odd thing for it not to copy over. Gasket! I forgot there's a new thing here. We did update some of the game a little bit, so I need to go into the crafting room, which would be here, but we don't have enough room for it in there. What's going on here? Why are we not researching? Radiation. Are we out of radiation? We might be. What I need to do is... I'm guessing it would be station. We need crafting station, I think is what it's called. Yep. That. Right here. Because there are a few things that now need to be crafted with a gasket in order for something to be placed. I should put a spore kit in here. That'd be funny. Alright, this is going to be medicine, basic rad. Put that on a 9. Put this to a 10. If they put more in it, that's fine. Actually, let's look at this. They did 50. I don't think we need... Actually, we do, because this is going to be the one that we send everyone in. And I just want to see what food is in here. So this is pickled meal. Is there anything else queued up with the pickled meal? No. So I'm going to go to this and do 20. What food do we have on Wadado that's non-spoiling? Meat, pickled meal, fried mushroom, tofu, gristleberry, frost burger, frost bun, barbecue, mushroom wraps, stuffed berry tofu, grapefruit. Okay, there's nothing in here that's not spoilable. We took that with the last rocket. That is what I was hoping for when I looked at that. Edible. Pickled meal. 9. This. Oxalate. 9. We will be, in a way, wasting a bunch of oxalate, but that's fine. Alright, down here, did they place in... They did place it in. So I want... What's the difference between rubber gasket and regular gasket? Besides... Oh, rubber. Rubber is a bionic dupe thing. So this, I want like 10. We're gonna do one of these. Right now I'm going to do 10. I'm going to put that on forever and just have the smart battery or smart storage stop them from doing anything. How are we doing on all this? We are probably going to run out of oxalate, I think. Yeah, because we put a bunch of oxalate in here, we're going to be filling up a whole other rocket afterwards. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm hoping that in the next pod that we can get another pilot. And how is everyone doing? Do we still have the morning thing? I did just see it. But is it going up or going down? It's still going up. Time remaining 0.8 cycles. Okay, so it's for about another cycle, and then that should go away. Oh, they're getting this done fast. Okay, gasket. Can't see it until it's built, I guess. That would make sense. Let's do dirt for a second. Just so that this is allowed. And I want to put this on a 7. But now I can put this on forever. You know, I built 3 things to make basic rad pills, but I did just recently figure out that using that building is a skill. The apothecary needs medical compounding in order to be used. So we actually don't have 3 dupes that can do this. Alright, if I put this on a 9. Let's see if we get another pilot. Tidy doctor, nope. And we don't want the seed. We don't need that anymore. This colony is fully self-sustaining, so we don't need that. Alright, there's our first gasket. So now we can queue this up to being there, and then... I really want just 10. Oh, something I forgot to do was the auto sweeper. I'd immediately put it in. So let's put this back on a 5, so that hopefully when they're done with that one task, it'll stop. They did only make 4. How are they doing inside the rocket? Probably am able to grab this now. So let's bring this over to here. Oh. Place that right there. I want this being the same setting as this one. So let's just copy settings. This needs another Julia. This ready. We also need a toilet. And then I just need to bring the seeds in here and build that. The medicine doesn't need a power. Just want to make sure that the water is still connected. It is still connected. So once they put the toilet in, the water should go in there. Oxalate, how are we? We still have a lot of oxalate going off of visuals. Do we have a puffed prince egg? Because I don't see a puffed prince in here. That's pufflet, 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 pufflet. Yeah. What's this? Whoa, wait a minute. There's a bunch of puffed prints in there. Something didn't work right. I need somebody to do this right now. I need somebody to do this right now. And I need somebody to do this right now. We have 3 puffed prints, but for some reason they weren't placed in here, which means that these aren't going to get any better. Now that that's there, we turn all these off. And I think I need to reset all of these. So if I just do that, the worst thing that's going to happen is that this will send another puffed prince through here, and there'll be 2 eggs in here. But afterwards, it should be fine. Okay, that might get these running again. Don't know yet, but we're gonna find out. How is the rocket? They are using it. So once that dupe gets out of here, we're gonna send it off. We need this to the left. Still waiting bleach stone, so we're not completely ready. Alright, I also need to check. That's on a 7, so this also needs to be a 7. And that was put on a 9, so that means we do not have a lot of food for that. Trying to see what we have. We could do spicy tofu in both because we have a lot of that. So let's do pickled meal and I went past spicy tofu. It's right here. There we go. And this looks like it has nothing in it because it does have nothing in it. There we go, now somebody's coming to get it. And there's almost nothing else for us to do besides that. I think what I'm going to do for this rocket was we're going to add some modules to allow us to get that other asteroid. Or not. No, let's not do that. Okay, now the gaskets are in here, right? And it looks like 1 gasket per kilogram. I want to see what the weight of this is. Well, I thought somebody was going to come over and do it. Are we still grabbing stuff from down here? We are, in a way. I mean, it's still queued up to be picked up, but I don't think anyone's actually getting it. Alright, how's this down? We're still filling it. This said that it had people queued up to do it, but then it doesn't look like there's any in it. Actually, there is a little bit. It looks like that's all it holds, it just doesn't have anything visually in there. This really isn't. I just realized we're not on the fastest speed. So how do we make that faster? I think we need to set one of these up to be something N spicy tofu. Why do none of these have pickle? Oh, we were putting surf and turf in there for some reason. Alright, well we don't have a lot of surf and turf. Let's do the spicy tofu instead. And then this needs to be relocated. I could also just sweep it up, now I'm thinking about it. There's only 3 more that need to be picked up. Possibly just 2 now. Okay, so they should now be able to pick up the spicy tofu from the refrigerator and bring it into the rockets. I think they are doing that. And then that's what Servitor should go back in here and not go stale right away. Let's take a look back in these. That's full. This is now full. We are ready to send this rocket off. Let's take a look at the crew again, make sure that we have the right people. We have our pilot, Turner, we have Small Town Sophie, we have me, and we have Yao. So that is a digger, mechatronics engineer, and a rancher. Other than that, everyone else stays here. We are ready to set the destination for the temple tear. We're ready to acknowledge the warnings of not enough fuel to get back, limited oxidizer, and now we begin launch sequence. So our 4 dupes should be running over. I think we're waiting on one more dupe. Yep, here they are now. The pilot. Looks like the pilot is the last one to get on for some reason. I noticed that one of the other rockets that they were the last to get on. Could also be their speed, because they are a new dupe. Let's look at their skills, by the way. That is Turner. You probably don't have the best piloting thing yet. No, you don't. So I'll do that. If they can get another skill, we'll put them in a piloting 2. Gives them a +2 in piloting. Makes them a little bit faster. But here we go. Our second out of 4 rockets to be blasted off into the temporal terror. And now, start making another one. So, new rocket, we want petroleum engine. We'll wait for that to be built, and then we'll start building the rest. And it is going to take them 6.5 cycles. So we're going to be sitting here for a while before they get there. By 2376, we should be there. That'll pretty much be about the same time as it takes us to build a whole nother rocket. Seeing how they're already not building it. It may be the time that we stop doing priorities on certain things. So I don't think I need a doctor. I do want the cooks to always be cooking. So we're going to leave them there. Did I keep the other farmer on this? I did. I want the farmers constantly doing the farming because we need that for the foods. Where's the other farmer? Right there. That's a cook. This is a plumber. Another decorator, which we didn't have. Focus on anything. We have our pilot and our other builder. And for some reason, Yelp is the only thing that's showing up in that rocket. Don't know why. There we go. Now we have all of them. So I'm going to take them all off of this. Turner is going to be piloting. I don't see it. Rocketry right here. So that's there. If we run out of rad pills, I'm fine with that. I don't really care if they run out. Back to Adato. Us taking them off of priority should help. Oh, we can also put the sink down here. Ornament, sink. Select. And we have the sink completed. Did they build? They did build it. So let's go... Large liquid fuel tank. Times 2. Large sod oxidizer times 1. Space for a module after the autosave. Oh, we also have thermium. Thermium has a higher melting point than steel, I think. I don't actually know that for sure. Then we have... battery. Solar panel. Nose cone. And that's the new rocket. That looks different. It's because it's a Regal Neutronium. But I never noticed pipes on the end of them. What's going on here? Hold on a second. I just noticed that nothing is moving. Looks like there's a lot of polluted dirt right here. Are we picking up polluted dirt? We are. Alright, let's not pick up polluted dirt. Or else this is gonna happen again. Yeah, I can't see anything but mud right here. I saw it for a second there. There we go. Now we can at least keep track of how much is in here. I think when it gets below 5 tons is when it starts showing us the exact hundreds of grams. But it's pretty much every other pickup, it goes down 100. Or it's 2 tons. I forget if it's 5 or 2 tons for solids. I know for gases, every 5,000 it goes to a new amount, new weight. There we go. It is when it gets below 5,000. Now, what is in here? I want to click on it, but at the same time, I don't want to click off of this. Actually, we can. It's only 4,000. This is slime. I don't think we're supposed to have slime down here. I think we were meant to deconstruct these and move the slime somewhere else. And this should be done in a couple more turns. It's almost below 1,000. No, it is below 1,000. Why is the... getting hurt because something is scalding. Oh, is this polluted dirt too hot? Huh. Anyway, that should be done in, like, about now. And I guess we picked up a lot of polluted dirt, and that's what's full in here. Oh, that's just copper ore, that's different. Why are we shipping copper ore in here? I guess that's how we filter through. Okay, that should start letting things from outside the base to get in here. That definitely opened up the debris chiller. That's been backed up for quite a while, so much so that the sulfur is stuck in place. Which probably means that we have sulfur superheated somewhere. Doesn't look like it yet. Now this is going to continue going around again. And that should mean that the igneous rock from here starts going through it again. Oh, this has probably been superheating the outside of the area here. But anyway, as it goes through, it'll get chilled again. Some of the sulfur was super heated. Igneous rock is actually chilled already. I don't know why we needed this. What's this? Coal, okay. We're almost done going through this, which means that this should start moving now. Or it's also picking up stuff from the bottom of the base. Okay. We did drop a bunch of things in it. Is that how we got polluted dirt in this? I think that's how we got polluted dirt. That should be fine, because there's only a small amount of debris there, and then this is almost empty. Because that only had the copper that we just picked up. We have about another 3.5 cycles before the rocket reaches the temporal tear. I have been keeping an eye on the cycle date. What's going on here? Copper and abyssite, that makes sense. There's abyssite right here. Is it picking up the slime? I can't tell. I'm gonna guess it's picking up the abyssite. No, it's picking up something from over here. No, it's picking up the abyssite. How are they doing on building the rocket up here? They haven't even tried adding more in, so I think we need a ladder. Oh, you can't post a ladder. Put a ladder right there. Turn that up on a 7. Hopefully that gets built quickly. We finished all of this. So now if we stop bringing stuff in from outside the colony, we would be able to finish cleaning up the bottom of the base. And I think it's funny, our supercoolant cools the debris down so fast it doesn't have to go up and around this again. We actually made too big of a debris chiller. It looks like this is already finished. I'm glad I caught that, because I wouldn't have noticed. Alright, let's deconstruct both of these. Try to get this out of here. And now we should be getting through the polluted oxygen that's stuck in here. That was all from the slime and the polluted dirt that was stuck here at the bottom. Part of it could also be because of polluted dirt over here that's feeding the crabs. Is this polluted dirt as well? It is polluted dirt. Because they were trying to put it in here. Rocketer. I'm okay with them falling asleep occasionally. Let's go into skills. Get them into piloting already. Turner, you're probably not going to get another skill point. This person could sleep wherever. Okay, I think I have to start high prioritizing things. Just because we have such a low amount of dupes. Alright, now they're starting to fill in everything. Oh, they can build this from over here, they just didn't get to it. Let's go in here and change its interior to match the rocket that's currently going to the temporal tear. Yeah, we also have this, so let's deconstruct this. So that we can place in a new one. This, not fertilizer, oxalate, 9. Good job, Turner. In here we have this. Can I copy ghost tiles? Oh, it does copy ghost tiles. Nice. A ghost tile is what I mean by us placing it down, but it's not being built. So I didn't know if it was going to take those tables along with it. Put that there, and then get rid of this tile so they can build that. Did they place in the top? They did place in the tile for over here. That's good. We did run out of rad pills, so I think I might increase this to 20 for the next rocket, just to help them a little bit more. Let's also do our first prediction. for today's stream. So in the top left corner is a little blue button. Is that going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide, starting right now. And we'll look at that in the future soon. So over here, these tables should be maxed. This does have bleach stone, good. And then this shouldn't be being built yet. Oh, wait a minute. Why do these all say no? Colony lacks critter ranching 1 skill. We don't have a single rancher. I forgot about that because we just sent off our second rancher. Where is our farmers? We have dupe. Oh, both dupes are farmers. All right, let's get them into ranching, so that we have a rancher. We're also going to have to do the priorities for them as well. So dupe 1, ranching. And dupe 2, also ranching. Did not realize we didn't have a rancher going. And in here, we do have that extra egg issue that I was talking about. This needs to be relocated into here immediately. You know what? Let's do this. Because I want those oxalite ranches working again. Thank you. Let's pick up that slime so it stops off-gassing out here. How is our gases doing? We for some reason have a lot of oxygen out here. I'm pretty sure it's because we dropped oxalate down here. But we're getting pretty close to the bottom of the base. Every time we go outside, we're releasing more of the gases. Overheat damage. Oh, that's not good. Why is this all superheated? 105 degrees out here for some odd reason. Is it the volcano down here? Is this superheating everything? 96? I mean, it could be. I don't think that would really superheat because that's insulated tiles. We'll ignore that. We're not going to be here for very much longer. We have about another cycle and a half before the rocket gets to the place. Actually, just 1 cycle. So by the start of the next cycle, being 77, not 75, we should be at the temple tear. So I think, not including the autosave that's about to happen, when we have the next autosave, we will send them through the rocket. Right, let's check these, make sure they're all done. Yes. I want to priority increase all of this. This is the final rocket for us to build. So I'm gonna go like this. That should mean that people go up there and build that over doing anything else except for the rancher and farmer people. They should continue doing all this. You know what? Anyone can do farming, not everyone can do ranching. So I'm going to put the ranching thing as a higher priority than farming. How do we get a regular slug egg? This I want... Polluted dirt is queued up for in there. I don't know why it's down here then. Should probably have done it this way. Wait, if slime and polluted dirt's in there, how are we gonna get it out and filtered through? Yeah, I did something weird with this area down here. Ignore that. They clean up the stuff. They built a lot of this very quickly. Edible, this is spicy tofu and pickled meal. 4 dupes, 6 cycles. Say 33 right now. You know what? We're gonna do 100. We have a lot of food. We can do that. Joy seed, grounded, extra tile, toilet. Build that as well. This should be oxygen as far as I can remember. Once we get a little bit of oxalite in here, we should have that done. Did they do the oxalite in here? They did. Awesome. So this rocket is also ready to be sent out eventually. We have the toilet in, so now it's filling up with water. I'm waiting to see someone fill this in, but I don't think they're going to fill it in. Now that I'm looking at it. Let's do that. I'm going to do the same thing with over here. Just to make sure that they have all their stuff. We are ready to go through the temple tear, by the way. So let's look at this pod. Sweet legs? We'll take the sweet legs. Let's also look at the star map and send our rocket through the temporal tear. Enter the temporal tear. So now it looks like all of this is going to end up going to here because that's the closest planet. We do now have 4 less dupes. So if we go back to Wadado, I don't know why I closed the planetoids. We're now going to save the game. Because now we go into our next colony. This is the second group that went through the Temple Terror. We are going to have a third group. Each group is going to be a new DLC. So if we look at the autosave here, we already did the Frosty DLC. We're skipping the prehistoric. I'm not going to do that because that seems more past rather than future stuff. We are going into the Aquatic Planet DLC. That's what we're going to be playing next. When we do our third rocket, we're going to go into the Bionic DLC, and then our fourth rocket is going to lead into the next game, which will be the start of Chapter 4. When we are done the Aquatic DLC, we will be going into our third side story. I did originally think that we only had 3 games left, but I did realize that we actually have 4 games. So I do have 2 side stories to do yet. One of them may or may not be with multiple people. So I don't know. I have to talk to somebody to see if they still want to do it. But anyway, we are going to take a short restroom break right now and come back to set up our Aquatic DLC. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And we're back, chat. Sorry for a little extra long break. I took a second to have a quick snack. But now we're going to get into the Aquatic DLC Planet Pack. But first, I want to take a look at this new animated short, which you guys can't see, so hold on a second. Let's make sure that you can see this. That's going to be this. Which you guys can't see the entire thing. I don't know how much of this you guys are going to need to see. Let's do a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Alright, so we're gonna watch this together. This is the newest DLC, but it's been out for a while, so I'm sure everyone has seen everything already. But anyway, let's mute the video game music. And then we'll just be looking at this. Actually, what I could do is turn that back on, and then mute in-game. All right. That was extremely loud. Sorry about that, chat. Is this good? That's good. There we go. That was pretty cool. So I'm gonna go back to hiding this. And then closing this out. Turning the music back up. It was at about 60%, so we're gonna put it back to that. And now I have an idea for what we're gonna be doing before we get into the third game. Or the fourth chapter, I mean. But first, we're going to start this. We're going to go into survival. We're going to do the spaced out version, or should we do the classic? No, we'll do spaced out. We'll do the smaller planet factor. We're obviously going to be doing the Aquatic DLC, but I'm going to turn off, now that I realized you can just go in here and turn them off. We'll keep the Frosty Planet Pack DLC because we already know what happens when we go there. And I think that's all we need. I don't think we need anything else. So let's go back to story traits. We're going to turn off all the story traits. We don't need any of them going. And we're going to randomize for a couple times to try and get something decent on our planet. I don't know exactly what we need to further us being alive further. So what I'm gonna do, oh, that was story traits. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mess with the DLCs. I meant to do this button. Metal poor but metallic caves, that seems contradictory. Rich geoactive. So we're gonna do this a couple times to try and get something good. Small and medium boulders, metallic caves, and geoactive, not too much better. Geoactive, metal poor, metallic caves, another contradictory thing, but with geoactive added into it. This is the same thing as last time, but with mixed boulders. You know what? Let's do something we don't usually do. We're gonna go to a website that does seeds. That you can just type in what you want, and it will give you a seed. Maybe we want the Mariana Minor cluster. Enabled, disabled, disabled, enabled. I don't think I messed with anything. Alright, no, everything is just like that. I didn't mess with anything. Let's go back to this. We want geoactive, metal rich, and I think those are the only two things I'm really worried about is geoactive and metal rich. So if I keep that and do search for more seeds, we do get a bunch of seeds that have various differences to them. So we have a seed that also has medium and mixed boulders. We have another seed that has large boulders. A third seed also with large boulders, but also metallic caves. A fourth seed with small medium boulders. So the fourth and the first seed are the same. They are actually the same seed. Actually, no, they're all saying the same number. Oh, I see what's different in it now. Okay. The fifth seed has large glaciers. So I guess it would have large amounts of ice. Let's do the metallic cave one, and I'm actually going to type it out. So first, we go in here, we take this large number, and we make it just 21. So it's Aku C21 00, and then this we have to change, so it's 6 C4 W1 3Y1. Or is that an I? It's actually WI. WI 3Y1. And then that now gives us the same thing I was just saying. Large boulder, metal rich, metal caves, geoactive. And we're gonna start the game. I don't usually use that website because I find it somewhat cheaty, because you already know what you're going to get rather than doing the randomize button and just hoping you get something good. Alright, now the first 3 dupes are going to be all swimming dupes, so they can go through and actually survive in the water. Every dupe afterwards will be a normal dupe that does not survive in the water. Now that I think about it, if I re-roll this, are we going to still have basic swimming? I'm now concerned if I randomize that they're not going to have that skill. Alright, well anyway, we are going to set this to being the operator since it's already there. Oh good, they do keep it because that just changed to bubbles. Okay, this is going to be our rancher. And then the last one was digger, right? Yeah, Sophie was the digger. So we had... No, we're not going to change the name there, because I think that changes every Mima to being Small Town Sophie. The Incredible Outpost, we are actually going to do a different name, and I'm forgetting what the first name was. Is there a way that I can look back in the stream and see what the name of the first colony was? I'm going to find out. So if I go back to here. Give me just a few seconds. Okay, when I first started the game, the stream, we were already loaded into the save file, so I am unable to look at that right now. So we won't know exactly what I had. Do I just go back and redo this whole thing? I am going to go back. So we're going to need that website again. Actually, no, because I can just go back into the stream and find that. What I wanted to know was this. The first, okay. So we're going to put the second. So this I remember being 21. It does get this, so I don't know if we need to change any of that stuff. I think the first number is what gives us the world traits. We're gonna go for this, because this seems a little bit more randomized. We just have to focus on the number in the front. Alright, so we're gonna go back into it. And then this is gonna be the second. We can't do the whole thing. Can I do 2 ND? Oh, I can do a pass rate, nice. I feel like I'm spelling Frontier wrong, so that should be correct. Alright, now we have to go back and redo all this. So I'm gonna do Digger there, Operator, Rancher. Loud Sleeper, we're gonna reroll. Try and get rid of Loud Sweeper. I'm okay with this. Actually pretty good. Actually, we want them to be single interest dupes. I'm okay with this. Not okay with that. Although it did give us super hard digging. Falls asleep periodically, we're gonna ignore that. Decrease construction. I'm forgetting that. We need to look at the interest. Let's keep going until I get another single operator. There we go. Bottomless stomach, no. Decrease medicine? Okay. And it's also frost proof. Funny. Alright, now a rancher. On digging, decrease excavation. I think we're okay with that. Let's embark with these 3, and then we get to name them again. This asteroid has suffered intense flooding. My scans show traces of a previous party of explorers, but only one remains. It's imperative that I find and recruit the survival to my colony. Their adaptations may well be the key to plumbing the depths of this waterlogged world. I'll click begin. We're going to immediately pause because the first thing I want to do is skills. Actually, we can't do skills yet. But what I wanted to do was get the names. So Catalina is going to be Small Town Sophie, because they are the digger. We look at bio, actually. Actually, it doesn't tell you what their thing is, but it does say excavation plus 9. That's Small Town Sophie. Ren, I think, is me. That's the aquatic pod. I'm going to click on Ren. Yeah, Ren is machinery, so that would be operating. I don't remember what Frankie's name was. I'll have to look in the VOD. But this was I. Okay, let's take a second look at the name of the other dude. So if I go back to here, I think this is before. This is me picking all of them. It was Yelp. There we go. So we have Sophie, me, and Yelp. We can all swim pretty well. We also have the teleporter immediately right here. And look at this. Tattered beach chair. Nice. Rubber boots. Rubber gasket. Okay. And then we have various different things around here. So let's do an auto harvest and everything. Gum palm requires sulfur to fertilize. Can be harvested for gum wood, which can be processed into latex at the plant pulverizer. Due to their size, they can only be planted in a wide hydroponic farm. So that's a new thing. We have, of course, our poke shells. We have a soda cane. Requires salt to ranch. Produces salt sticks, a sodium-rich food that leaves duplicants feeling quite parched. Mussel sprouts, I'm guessing, is our unspoilable, non-processable food. We have a beacon. Beacons are aquatic critters who feast on phosphorate and starnacle to excrete lime. They produce light when happy and enjoy consuming oxygen. Okay. There's a research thing here, so we're definitely going to come down here. A mini fridge. Okay. We have the bloatier. Bloatiers are aquatic critters who produce oxygen after eating leaves from waterweed plants. We have hush caps, which require nothing to ranch. Oh, they're a decorative plant. That makes sense. Now, it could be funny and immediately go to the other asteroid, since we have the teleport right here, but I think that's due to us having the space out planet size, so this is going to be a small planet. We also have the Slogos, are non-hostile critters that consume salt and excrete dirt. The shells they leave behind after molting can be crushed into lime. They also leave large amounts of mucin in their wake. What is mucin used for? If we superheat it, we get polluted water and slime. If we freeze it, we get frozen mucin, which makes sense. Frozen mucin plus temperature makes regular mucin. Squid ink plus heat equals mucin and refined carbon. And then mucin can be used as a secondary water, it seems, in foods. Avoline, don't know what that is. In the gleaner, creates mucin, carbon dioxide, and caviar. This is the alternative snail. They consume sulfur and excrete obsidian. Their shells can be crushed into gold. They also leave mucin. Neat. So I think our first task as any colony would be to start digging around. We do have this thing, Idle Spring. Gives off salt water, it seems. We have this plant, which I'm guessing is another flower. Here's some water weeds. We have Paku. We have this, a sea queen. Sea queens are aquatic critters that live in liquid pools. They feed on pearl and produce avoline. Ooh, we were looking at that earlier. At the aquatic milking station. We also have a starnacle, which we were looking at earlier. These things eat off the starnacles, I think. They require a coquina. Guessing coquina is a seed of some sort. Oh no, it's this. There's a corallium. Zinc ore, that's a new metal. That's pretty cool. Alright, I think our first task is to make a temporary living arrangement and start digging around the area. So, what do I want to do first? Do we copy our previous colony base? Where we had the bathrooms right here? I think I might, just for the fun of it. So if I look at our thumbnails, I'll be able to see the thumbnail from the last stream. Okay, it is actually hard to see. Let's not look at the thumbnail and instead look at the screenshot itself. That should be a little bit easier to see. Okay, I can now see that we actually have the beds first and then the bathroom. First step would be to just start digging. Let's get all that. This is going to be set on a 7. Oh, I didn't want to get rid of that. Oh, we're just harvesting the waterweed. So it should have given us some lettuce. Or no, we dug it up. Or did we? Why didn't I get... I didn't get any lettuce from that, it seems. I am confused. What I'm not confused about is that we're going to be putting ladders here. This is going to turn into our floor for the new place. Silt stone is a new thing. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the background is actually colored. So we have different backgrounds to different biomes. And we are going to end up dropping all of this. Oh, here's blue coral. Require lime and salt water to fertilize. Blue corals are aquatic organisms that use light to produce oxygen. Due to their size, they can only be planted on wide hydroponic farms. Here we are digging into here, which is going to release all that liquid, so let's dig this out. That will then soon allow us to get down into here, because they can swim into it. Oh, here's a clam. A clam pum requires sand to fertilize. Aquatic bivalves that consume sand into pearl, or transform sand into pearl. Due to their size, they require wide. Okay, so everything I see here is going to require a wide hydroponic farm. Right, let's start the temporary build of the rooms. Now, in the last stream, or the last DLC, we had to create extra room due to the heaters. This one, we're not going to be needing extra room. So I'm going to put the beds a lot closer together than last time, where we're just going to go like this. Now, I do want to put a mesh tile right here so that the water can keep flowing, but we don't have the ability to do mesh tiles yet. So instead we're going to dig over here and all of that as well. I also want to get into here, if we can get in there by swimming. I think we can. I am purposely keeping this in a slower speed. I want to unlock the portal. What is that? Oh, that's just oxygen, but with a different background. Oh, this is cool. They can walk on walls. What did that research give us? It gave us the tidal turbine. Converts the kinetic energy from tidal springs below it into electrical power. Gives us 300 watts. And this... Oh, it unlocks the mesh tile. Awesome. Alright, let's dig this out so we have a little bit more room in here. Action required. Gasket pattern? I don't know we get a pattern. What's the pattern for? In an extremely unlikely event that this emergency in the dark zone, contact resettlement agent. Okay. Don't know what any of that has to do with what I'm doing. Right next to this, we're going to be making our bathroom. So we're going to go one more tile. Doors, bathroom. So we need 2 sinks, 2 toilets. No, we also can't get in here yet. We have to dig that one tile. And then if we dig this out, we should be able to get through here as well. Because that now means that this is combined with this side, which should equalize water and stuff. Let's mop that. It's now lower than the water over here, so we aren't going to be getting more water up there. Now this isn't going to be a room unless I put tiles up top. So it's at least do room for there, and then I guess we might as well make a room over here as well. And I'm now going to increase our speed because it's taking a little too long for us to do stuff. Let's bring the ladder up to here so we can get out here and dig stuff over on this side. That'll allow us to make more tiles for the room. That's another one of these tree things. I do want to look for food related stuff. Or not food, water. So I'm looking for neutron. We do have geoactive. So we have a few of these tidal springs we can use for power, but what I want to see is a water source besides all this salt water. Well, we do have a little bit of water mixed in down here. So I think what we'll do over here is put a pitcher pump right there so we can grab some water. We are now getting some polluted water. Luckily over here is salt water, so it's all being placed on top. And then I want these to be 7. So that they're cleaned and supplied immediately. That's the toilets. We now have a bedroom. We're about to have a bathroom. There we go. We originally made this our solid storage, which means that I built this all one tile too close if we want this to be identical. I don't think we really care if it's identical. We're actually going to move the solid storage somewhere else. So let's start building down here our next room, which is 4 tiles. 2 right there. Which means that this would be the next floor. This would be our second bedroom. Which means that we need all of that dug out. We're going to need tiles in here. And these tiles, because they're sand. I'm trying to get to the point where we have research ability. Which we could place here once we remove the water. What's that? Is that an egg? It is an egg. It's a beacon egg. Are you creating radiation? It looks like they're creating radiation. Absorbed radicals. They are getting radiation somehow. Oh. Well, that's not good for them. I didn't notice that. Okay, next room, since this will be the next bedroom, we then have the research station set up down here. I actually don't want this tile. So in here on the left side is a research room. Oh, this is a new biome. So we have the ore hole. I almost said ore shell. They eat kelp holes and excrete polluted mud. They can be sheared for iron ore. A kelp hole is, I guess, grown on this and is a critter? Yeah, they definitely do. They can be harvested for nori. Nori is just a food. Okay. Oh, it's the seaweed thing for sushi. Okay, that's cool. We're going to slowly bring all this water down here, which is going to mean that we have to move our pincher pump thing. So let's go here. You know what? We're going to bring this ladder down further. We do want to go a little bit more. Actually, that was for the carbon dioxide. Yeah, we are going to go down more. So this is going to be the bottom of our base, as we did in the last stream. I'm going to open this up, so hopefully we can... Actually, no, let's not open that up. Let's go way through here and open it up in this area. That way we can fill this in. And if we do this even more differently, we could fill in the entire bottom. That is going to make some oxygen go into different places, into corners. My main hope is that we will be able to drain this area. We have our first blueprint here. Oh, we also never opened our first blueprint of today's stream. So we're not going to take any dupes because we don't have anything set up for that. We'll take the corollium. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. We'll take that. Let's do our first prediction. So we have 6,900 points in bottoms. And we are getting a pair of tops. Unfortunately, I'm taking all your points. So let's complete that. We are going to start the next prediction immediately. So what is the next pod going to give us? Is it going to be another pair of tops? Is it going to be bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting now. And we will open the next pod of sometime around the next hour. Can I mop this? Welcome back, Gina. I'm gonna tell them to mop this, try and get this to drain out a little bit faster. We might even get a little bit faster if I tell them to mop that area. Okay, so this is ready for research stuff. We are going to do it this way so that I can get it started. And I just realized if we do a large battery, we're not going to be able to fit the supercomputer down here. That is an issue to think about. Colony lacks the farming skill to open that. Okay, we have our teleporter sender over here. We have reed fiber. This looks like it's dead, but I guess it's not. I doubt we can do anything food related right now. No, we could only do the micro musher. So if we dangerously need food, we'll do the micro musher. I actually don't want you running on that right now. I guess it's not going to hurt anything. Alright, let's do research. We need the wide hydroponic farm for everything. That's a sushi bar. That's the aquatic milking station. So in order for us to get something later on, we need not only radiation science, but also databanks. Oh, here's the wide hydroponic farm and the wall planter, so we want to get into this as quickly as possible. Let's get the supercomputer as our first research. This no longer has a water. Should we do that as our first research, or should we be doing food so we can farm food? I don't know. I kind of want to get our base set up first, so let's start doing walls and such. No, let's cancel this for a second, right there. Oh, what's right here? Salt water, okay. We're definitely going to need a desalinator and a water sieve. Now, is this going to stop? No, it's not. It creates salt water. So we want to do something like this up here. That's not going to dig this out, so let's cancel this and dig right there. I'll cancel that. Can I cancel all of this for right now so we can finish up here? We have our first research done. Doesn't give us much that we can use right now, aside from the water cooler. This needed water, doesn't it? It does need a water. Alright, we are going to cancel that. I didn't mean to do that. Because now I can't get up there. Reopen that. I want to put a wall there. I thought this creates water. Didn't it say it was emitting salt water? Okay, let's deconstruct this tile so that these fish can find a spot to go to. Did not realize it does not emit water. They do have a usable toilet. I don't know why it's saying they don't have a toilet. That should tell the fish to flop over this way. Oh, the door. I have to open the door. I could have just deconstructed the tile right here. Oh well. I do have the bottle emptier, so we'll do this. And I will grab a pincher pump right here. Probably gonna want one down here. So let's actually just do the second one, because we'll be able to get clean water from this as well, I think. Not entirely too sure, but I think we'll get regular water from that. I am going to immediately go all the way up here and get the hydroponic farm. We do have the ability to put in a supercomputer, but I don't have a place for it right now. Unless I deconstruct all this and just place it, or replace it. Do that. Deconstruct both of these. This is just to move it over so that we can put a supercomputer. That there. We don't need a skill scrubber yet. How close are we to getting skill points? Somewhat close. Alright, this can be put back on auto. This needs to go back here. We're gonna need to mop this up. This is slowly getting to where it needs to be. So this does say emitting salt water. Consuming liquids. Emitting liquid. So it doesn't create water, it just brings it in and out. Okay. Are we not able to do this? Not allowed by schedule. That's different than saying not allowed. We got our first research done, so we have the compost, we have planter box, ration box, and algae farm. For some starting out air. Now I want to lower the water even more. That's oxygen. That's more oxygen. If I go in here, but dig this way first, that should fill this entire area. I can also now go like this to make it quick for them to get in here. But we do need a duplicate skill to do the supercomputer, so hopefully by the time we get to that research, we'll have the ability to do this well. Is all of that gas going in here? I hope not. But salt water is going down. We'll dig all of this out. This is where we're putting our kitchen and everything, so this plant... we need to get the water away from that plant before we dig into here. We do now have the mess tables, so we can place it in a room. We also have the grill. We have another person. Oxyfern. Coal. We'll take the oxyfern. Let's get a planter box. And I actually want this done before anything else, so I'm going to put that on a 6. Oxyferns, do they take carbon dioxide? They do. So we would actually want to place at the bottom, not at the top. I forgot about that. What I can do is the soda-cane. It requires salt, but I can still place them down and we get something from it, right? We get salt sticks, which we can eat. It's not just salt. And I'm tempted to get down here, but I also don't want to mix with the polluted water. That's a new biome. No, it's not. I wonder how long until this says it's not submerged. I'm going to assume that it needs to have more than one tile. This is saying an issue with the atmosphere, so that's not... it doesn't have enough. I'm going to guess that this needs a full tile before it's done. Yes, it does. So we're going to need to add more liquid in here in order to actually ranch that thing. We also have these. I'm definitely gonna have to spend some time today doing extra research on this DLC to get this working aggressively. I knew more about the Frosty DLC because it's been out longer than I do with this DLC. Let's mop all that up. Let's also get in here. Why do you look like you're in the tile? I think you were in the tile. I know there's no researcher assigned. We're waiting for the skill point. Speaking of skills, we probably do have the skill point for it. We are going to need a digger. I could do myself as the researcher. I think I will do that. And yup. Grilling's probably going to be more useful. Because I can use the electric grill. So we'll do that. And Sophie, I guess, we'll just go... I didn't know that this was a skill point that we can research or get into. Okay. So anyone can be a basic swimmer and such. Neat. Let's do hard digging. So just so I can see who is who, we'll do that. Now we should have somebody being able to do the supercomputer. Don't know why we have a poke shell in here. That's oh, you're just hurting anything. Okay, let's relocate that to way over here. So you stop getting hurt. That was actually hurting the other animals too. Okay, we probably desperately need to get oxygen going. Do I switch to getting the electrolyzer? How difficult is it to get the electrolyzer? Why am I missing it? Right here. It would be just 2 points. How close are we to getting the thing done? We are almost done this, so I'll wait. But the electrolyzer is going to be the next thing we research into. Gas pressure, yeah, that would be an issue. Let's dig our way over here. Get a little bit more oxygen from that. I am tempted to just come over here and open into this. But I don't think I want to. Now, I'm not sure why they aren't doing this first. Alright, this will give us a little bit more oxygen. We also have the water lowered enough that it's not going to affect this tree. It also looks like they can't just climb anywhere. Like they're not going to go over the roof like a pip would. So they stay on the floor, but they can climb up the side of a floor block. Or tile, however you want to word it. This was so that the supercomputer hopefully doesn't get waterlocked. Awesome, it's not. All the salt water did move down pretty much to over here. So I'm gonna need another pitcher pump right here. Now that we have that, we should be getting salt water a little bit quicker up here. Now, it looks like Yop is having to hold their breath. Because I'm getting the oxygen warning on all of them. They should be able to get over here to breathe. Oh, I should probably do... do these mesh tiles so that they can breathe. Or move the air around. We got the other things done. It's glassy. What? Glassy materials are smooth. Okay, so it just needs something glass-like. Why say just glassy instead of transparent? Anyway, that's what we would use the clam for. So I want to get up here so that I could put another one of these over here and hopefully get that pearl always being used. Or growing, I mean. Let's go back into research. We need to get the electrolyzer, which is water. We are also going to need the desalinator. And I might start pooling all of the liquids into an infinite liquid storage. To make things a little bit easier on us. Ooh. They already come with the dive master. Nice. We're not going to get you though. We're going to do the rubber gasket. so that we have one for whatever we want it for later on. Now this should help the gases move around a little bit easier. Once we put this in, we'll have the oxygen rising quicker. What do you need? Just an air pressure, okay. So this is at some point going to stop growing because it doesn't have enough air. And these bookshelves are going to keep damaging critters. I am tempted to just get in here. What is this? A pet of poof. It's another flower. How do we get the... Oh, we have the tidal turbine already. This is apparently getting some form of thing. Water, I mean. If we can get that going, then we don't need power. Right, we should already be getting gases moving around faster. Taking a look at the gas overlay, we do have a lot of carbon dioxide. It's not moving around easily. So us having the tiles should make this fill with carbon dioxide over time. We have our liquid pumps and such. What's this? Oh, polluted mud. And that is a ton of iron ore. Oh, there's clean water over here. Oh, that's salt water, never mind. What do these need to eat? They consume salt and excrete dirt. What's all the different ways to get salt? Polluted brine can be turned into polluted water. Molten salt, of course. Brine, of course. Salt water, of course. Okay. Normal things for salt. We now have the electrolyzer, so if we need to put down a temporary gas or oxygen maker, we can do that. This needs... Actually, it doesn't tell me how much atmosphere it needs. It just says that it needs more. So right now it's pushing the water back out. I guess the more we put in here, the longer it's going to keep working for. And I wonder if this has to be completely submerged. Is there another example of one of those coral things? I mean, we have the clams. Is that the only piece of coral that I have to look at? I think that is the only piece of flue coral. I don't know if I dug another piece up earlier, but I don't see any more. Where did the tree go? Did the tree die because the water came down here? Well, okay. Time to get in here then. That wasn't intentional, but I guess we'll get in here and move these critters around. Where did I put that, egg? Oh, apparently it fell way down there. I want to relocate all the pinch row eggs so that they stop hurting the critters. Could have sworn I moved an egg from this somewhere else, but oh well. These slugs might die from being in water. I'm not sure what's going to happen to them, but we are going to go like this after getting in here. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Wow, that pinch row immediately just killed the slug. Or snail, however you want to word it. I'm hoping we can get in here quickly without having to build. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get in there that way, so let's dig this out. We'll have to put another one of these over here somewhere. Mop up all of that. Copy settings over to this picture prop so we can hopefully get this clam plum working. More turtles up here. Here's one of our geodes. Is this like extremely hot? No, it's not. That's another one of the tidal springs. I'm guessing that the only geyser that's on this planet is the tidal springs. I don't see another thing for us to benefit from using the tidal spring, or the thing I'm spacing out words on. But hopefully get to that tree. Oh, here's another pinch row. Let's move that immediately so it doesn't hatch. I moved dirt instead. I wanted the pinch row, please. Oh, we're starting to not be able to swim everywhere. So I'll have to put some actually, why do ladders there when we can do ladders in a straight line instead? Oh, here's another coral. So do you need 2 tiles? I would assume they do until they're dupe planted. Now that I have a way to get over here, I could start placing in tiles. over here to get rid of some of the water that's stored in this area. Because that'll immediately push the water up faster than we'll be pumping it in. Okay, we get pretty close to having this running constantly. I might even build all this in and then open this up a little bit further. Why did you guys go over there to eat? That's weird. Anyway, let's start making our next room after opening this. Getting some sandstone, inspecting it, and let's do... No, we're not going to do it yet. Hold on. Down here, we have our next room. This will be the room for us eating in, the mess hall. I don't think I can get to all this. Let's actually cancel all that. Alright, let's actually cancel these. So that we're not constantly trying to fill them in. Don't know what happened here. For some reason there's carbon dioxide stuck there. Which means that the tidal spring is not submerged for some odd reason. Well, now this pinch row can't do anything. I really want to get that clam plum so we can get some of the stuff from it. Could get down here to get... Oh wait, didn't we already get the gasket pattern? So we should already be able to build that. The plywood press, we probably don't need that yet. What do we need? Probably the critter station before we have a rancher ready. Should probably have that available. And then go into here for the hydrogen generator so we can do a small spawn. I think that's what we'll do. They didn't dig over here yet. Oh, nice. I didn't have a Pokemon. I tried to catch it. I didn't have the ball. I bought more balls. And then I threw a ball. So all of our automation for the chat for catching Pokemon is now fully automated on my part. Now what are the three of them doing? I see two dupes. I don't see the third dupe. Where is Sophie hiding? Oh, she's right there on the ladder. Right. In here, we're gonna do the mess table so they have a place to at least eat. It's not gonna be a room right away, but they'll at least have somewhere to eat. And I think we're not gonna use the large tables for this colony. So we'll just go like this. Actually, this needs to go here instead. Get rid of that. We go into furniture, and we do the water cooler right here. Okay, the carbon dioxide moved away from there for somehow. And we need to get into a spot that has more oxygen. Let's go straight up to here. And then also right here. They do only have one research to do, so I'm not too worried about them. I do think we need to prioritize certain things, so let's prioritize getting up here. It's a better room for oxygen. We do have a lot of water out here. Let's look at skill points. We're almost there on skills. So aside from Sophie, who has a skill point in their correct interest, our next skill points are going to be for things that they're actually interested in. So we're going to get a farmer, we're going to get a mechatronics engineer, at least started. Now we have a place of oxygen that we can go into. We have a small amount of food. We are growing a little bit. Let me look at Professor Oakshell's food calculation. So if I have 3 dupes and we're trying to feed off of what is this? Soda cane. I actually don't see it on the website yet. So I guess it would actually be the salty sticks instead. Since that is what we get from this, right? Yeah. We would need 20 plants? That seems like a lot for 3 dupes. But I guess they don't give much calories. That's good to know. Oh, if we didn't do auto harvest for some of these. That's why they're not coming over to this. How close are we to doing the? I need to get this next. We don't need to get the water sieve yet, because we don't need to use the shower and stuff. Okay, we are starting to get the mess hall tables. We should be able to breathe over here, right? Surprised that they're not going over into here. Should be more oxygen. There's a little bit in here, but not a lot. Over here we have our first thing. The Rubik's Cube. Alright, they built this room pretty quickly. Alright, we need to find a better spot for this pincher pump that'll get us the regular water. Let's place it, I guess, right here. We have another regular pod. Fungal spore, salt water. Fungal spore requires slime. We're not really doing slime. Let's do salt water instead. It looks like the bottom tile is getting a darker overlay. Oh no. That should make this into a mess hall now. Yep, we do have another room. And then we work on making this into a kitchen. We have another tree up here. We have another crab. I know a lot of this is probably going to be mucin, right? Actually, no. Starvation. But there's a lot of food in here. And we did get that little bit of lettuce. Yeah, you have food that you can grab. Okay, so now we have pretty much a saltwater pump over here and a regular water pump over here. Alright, next thing I want to work on is all of that. As well as getting this stuff done. I don't know why they haven't... Can they not get down? They might not be able to get down. Let's go... Let's just do that. No, they did build this one, so they definitely can get over. But I think because the water isn't always up on this level, that they aren't coming over for it. I think what I'm going to do is get this set up to being a little bit different. Let's... You know what? Let's do that. We'll also get rid of this one. We're going to need all that dug out, and we might as well dig this out. That's going to be dug out because... I didn't know that was a plant. I thought that was a critter this whole time. The Starnicles. They almost got in here. We might as well make a ladder going up to the top over here for air. What are they complaining about? Yup, you have food you can eat. I don't know why you're pretending like you can't eat anything. Are they unable to eat muscle tongue? No, they can. Everything that's here is edible. So they have food. And they killed the snails that were up here. Why would they, the poke shells, be stuck with the snails? They make lime. Oh, they make sand. And these guys eat sand, don't they? No, they eat salt. So what's the point of having these? Those make sand. These make sand. These make sand. So there's no reason to have... It's not like there's synergy between those animals. But now we have the grooming station so we can range things. Alright, research. We want to get into desalinator so I can actually use the salt water. We have to wait a little longer to put in a wall here, but we are going to start building this in. Alright, let's do our second prediction, and then we're going to start the third one. So we have 5,000 in tops, 6.9 thousand in bottoms, and 30 points in wallpaper. I think that's the most interaction we've had in a prediction in a while. So let's see if we get a pair of clothing or something else. We got a pair of gloves that counts as tops. So congratulations to whoever put points in tops. I, for some reason, can't see who it is. But you did win at least 6,900 points. Who was it? Was it Oz? Oz, are you stealing points on my channel? Oz! Who let Oz in? Somebody shut the door. Put a lock on it. Close the windows. Alright, let's immediately start our third prediction. That one we will finish up at the end of the stream. So is the next one going to be another pair of tops, being 3 tops in a row? Or is it going to be bottoms, buildings, decorations, and wallpaper? Because I have 10 minutes to decide starting now. I could probably increase the prediction being half hour like Willa does, since I usually forget about it. By the time it gets to 30 minutes later. We are going to have to do something different about Yelp since he has the radiation thing. Whoever sleeps next to him is going to be constantly woken up by light. Actually, if I go into the light thing, yeah, whoever sleeps next to him. We could put a narcoleptic person. Is that what they're called? The person that needs light to sleep. We could have them right next to them. That'd probably be a good thing. If they can finish this, I can start building this in. When we're researching, we don't really get much done because we have pretty much 2 people doing the research at a time. I meant to go up here to look at duplicate skills because I had a feeling we had another skill that we could do. So farming for them, they can get the pearl from the one critter. We'll do abyssalite digging for them. This person, actually, who's... Okay, Yelp is for food. We'll get this person into mechatronics engineer. I'm going to keep their temporary hats on. Oh, we should have updated Sophie's hat. Super digging. The others aren't going to get an updated hat until we have a researcher and a cook. Speaking of cook, we should probably start doing this. We'll go to there. Where is the cat sleeping? I think I can move over a little bit without disturbing the kitten. I do have Paintbrush sleeping at my feet, and earlier I had my feet down, so he took the spot that my feet were in. Meaning I have been facing diagonally for so long. Right. Are they doing this yet, or are they going to wait until their research is completely done? They're almost done the regular research. So they're almost 3/5 done the research. We just need somebody doing the supercomputer, but right now I'm researching on the small thing. Alright, did I finish the regular research? I did. So it's now just this. Okay, I had somebody coming down here to do a little bit of the clam plum. Then they went away. Sequine egg. Oh, it's the seahorse. Okay. Well, now we have a pearls. Did they just eat the pearl? They do eat pearls. Dang it! Okay, we need to relocate this immediately after picking it up. I think it's even arguably better to place down a storage box for it. Regular pod. We're not gonna take anyone else, especially not this bottomless stomach dupe. Pearl immediately. Luckily, we were able to move a little bit of it. Alright, how much is left on the research? We're about halfway done the supercomputer. They are getting this done a little bit quicker. Even if they just do this side, we should be able to get in here and do this a little bit easier. Oh, the starnicles are, in fact, a plant. Huh. I'm gonna guess that this won't create power until I have something plugged into it. I have the little boy tickling my foot. Alright, we have that research done. I'm gonna let them do some errands before we do another research. We do have the ability of making a full spawn because we now can turn our salt water into regular water. We have the ladders going in over here for oxygen. So now they should solely be focusing on this stuff. I still think it's funny that they're taking oxygen from here. Nobody is starving. You have food, just go eat. Okay, that now just created a way to get across here, so I can dig that out. Or deconstruct that. I can also build these here. Don't build it from inside. No, you idiot. I'm gonna have to dig this out prematurely now, which is gonna stop things from working. Okay, cut it. You can leave. Like, there's a way to get out of here. But now they should be able to build all this. We now have this growing again, so it definitely does need at least 2 tiles. Or 1 full tile and then another. Alright, let's keep pushing this water out of here. Is that a beet? That looks like a beet. Yes, it does look like this is only going to work when we, like, there's oxygen. Oh, that makes oxygen. So we should, be getting into here. So we want to bait a beacon to be in here. So they create light from the oxygen. So these have synergy to them. Okay. Can I deconstruct this and still have it as a room? Because I want to get that lettuce. Are there any other angry poke shells? 1, 2, 3. You're an angry poke shell. I wanted to relocate these eggs so that I can see them all in order, rather than them being stacked on top of each other. So we have something that's slowly creating oxygen. If we plan this right in the next stream, we won't need a spawn. This is still a room, great, so we can still get to that water weed. And this is for the kitchen, so what I want to do first is I want to place down electric grow and see what it allows me to do. Just in case, I'm actually going to move it over one. Because I think the microbe musher has something that we can actually benefit from creating. Let's keep adding more tiles in here. So the microbe mesher, we can make paku treats from nosh beans and water weed seeds. We can also make pemmican from meat and tallow. We actually can't make that. So we don't need the microbe mesher right now. This, on the other hand, we can only make barbecue and seafood. Do we even have a paku? We do have pakus, okay. So I guess we should start moving stuff around for our research room. Put that there. This there. What do we need for laboratory, actually? 2 science buildings, a room of at least 32 tiles. So you have to dig another 2 over there. That's it. Take some zinc ore. And we're gonna move this up to here. We actually don't need the micro mesher, right? Let's just go to here then. Deconstruct those and then replace them. And then that's going to be powered by this. How much does this take? 60 watts. Not too bad. We are going to want a battery. Is a battery an industrial thing? No, it's just kind of power building. Let's go up here and get the bigger battery. Actually, let's do both of those. It only takes regular science, so it shouldn't take too long to do. We do have a little bit of oxalite that's up here. Even more further up. Do we see where this takes us? Let's inspect everything. I usually don't read the stuff. That's not inspecting. This is, but we have to see the destination first. Heel? Liquid sulfur geyser, natural gas, chlorine gas, carbon dioxide, oil reservoir. Okay, so this is how we would get our sulfur. Which I'm guessing means that it also has sweetles. It has swamp chards. Pakus. Yep, sweetles over here. Let's get this big battery going while they finish the other batteries as well. And I think I'm actually going to put the debris storage up here. Got some refrigerators, place them down there. It's already filled with carbon dioxide, that's good. So this can now be the edible stuff, but not the cooking ingredients. This is the cooking ingredients of fish fillet meat. And for some reason I have nosh beans as a cooking ingredient already. We'll turn both of those on. We now have our research done, so we have more power stuff. Let's also put this on a 7. Deconstruct this. Deconstruct this. And then do I have the... I don't. So we need to research that. Which is this. So we need to finish placing in our power network. And then this will be our infinite storage. There we go. We should be getting power now. Let's continue placing in our wall here. It looks like there might not be enough liquid here for us to finish this. I'm not too sure if we can get this clam. Why is this one bigger than the other one? Does it actually shrink when you take the pearl out of it? Probably. We have a water weed growing right here. I didn't even notice that. So I wonder if we can take this into a rock crusher and get salt from it. No, we create it by giving it salt. If we get nosh bean, add that, we get edamame. And the sushi bar. We're getting close to having this working the way that I wanted to. With this, we have the rock crusher now, which is meant to be down here on this bottom area. Let's look at skills, even though I don't think we have any new ones. No, we don't. Okay. Once we get Yelp into ranching, we are going to start actually doing ranches. I've been holding off since we don't have a way to wrangle everything. But hopefully by then I have an actual idea of how we're going to ranch everything. I'll even make notes and saying what things have synergy with each other. Like how the seahorses have synergy with the clams. I think the beacons have synergy with the starfish? Or is it the bloaters have synergy with the starfish? I don't know. I think that the beacons have synergy with the chloral. And the blowfish have synergy with the starfishes. I don't know, we'll figure it out in the future. In here, we're not going to take any dupes until we have a food source and oxygen actually flushed out, so we'll take the rust instead. I am slightly annoyed with all this liquid, so I'm going to go there and there. That should make sure that the waterweed has a liquid and right next to it. Oh, it can use the mucin. No, it can't. Never mind. I do not want them to pick up all that. Luckily, they're only picking up the water. Let's mop all that up. Relocate any salt water I find. Which seems to be just that one bit. Unless I go over here. Then I have more salt water to relocate. None right there. That's all mucin. That's just mucin. Feel free to relocate all those bottles. Empty the bottles. That didn't give us enough. Oh, there it goes. It just took them out before it reset. Okay, Yelp, since you have the food thing, you're going to be focusing on food. The others can do whatever, but you need to focus on cooking things. We have our research done. So we are going to get into cleaning up the base now. And they are going to block themselves in for sure. Yep. Luckily, they should be able to get everything for their own ladders. Alright, for this, we're going to do all standard for right now. And I want to clean up everything inside here. I think it's funny, all three of them are taking the same exact step. You can just barely see who's slower. Alright, now I want all of this. It says it's producing oxygen, but I don't see any oxygen actually going up in this area. I guess it is, or so slightly. Once they're done that, I'm going to get them to sweep out the seating arrangement. There was only a little bit of debris here, but I purposely did their bedroom. I'm going to hold off on doing the secondary bedroom. For a little while, this research portal is going to be part of our base until we get a builder that can actually dismantle it. Oh, there's a little bit of salt there. That snail make more mucin. Alright, what else are we doing? We should probably tell them to keep doing these. So I'm gonna go like this now. Only I'm gonna tell them to do that one first so we don't delete water, we're pushing the water around. That's a bunch of salt water. We have some of our poke shells grown up now. We have raw shellfish, so we should be cooking that as well as this. Let's go into consumables and make sure they're not eating the meat or either of these. What's in the pod? A little bit of food, we'll take it. We won't say no to food. Let's open this door because I feel like this poke shell isn't going to die if it's not moving around for some reason. Seems like it's just stuck. Okay, first earbud has now died. I don't know if we're going to ranch poke shells, but we'll definitely do something with them. I have a feeling that they're in here for a reason. Either something eats lime or something eats the sand that it excretes. Otherwise, they're only in here because they're a water-related animal. Okay, so apparently sweeping is higher priority than building. We should be getting close to getting this clam plum working. I'm gonna keep adding tiles. There we go, we had it for a split second, I was open. Maybe if we go like this, and like this, we'll get a little bit more water. Or, I want to get to a point where we're never going lower than this clam plum needs. think we might be good after placing in these 2 tiles. We'll have to see when they're actually breathing it in. They're both lowering the water level. Yeah, we do still need more. It might be worth putting a lid over top of this one. Okay, that might be enough. Well, that just overspilled. Alright, let's put a single tile right there and make sure that doesn't happen again. Alright, now I think this is a good spot for us to call it for today. I am going to queue up more of the sweeping. And I guess we'll put a saltwater pump there to clean it up, so we don't have salt water all over the place. Mucin, I have no idea what I'm going to do with mucin right now. I'm going to put a lid over this eventually, so I'll start it there. That should still allow the water to leave. And then it'll cut off how much water it pulls in if it can't do anything above that tile. We're only doing this until we can actually start ranching in the next stream. After that, we'll be fine. There's our salt water. Now this should be stopped. We're taking more salt water than it needs, which should let more of it stay up here. We do have seafood there, which I'm guessing is not, yep, was not placed on there, neither was the pemmican. Barbecue is part of this now, right? Oh no, we actually didn't make a piece of barbecue yet. We're almost done cleaning the kitchen though, which is great. What is that? Oh, that's part of the research portal, okay. I didn't know the portal had some coral on it, so I'm looking at this thinking it was some type of shell. Should probably raise the priority of that to a 6 so that they do it over sweeping. And I want to put some tiles here. And I guess start making this blocked off so it doesn't lower the water. And my other earbud has died. Where's our third dupe? I see 2 of them. They're combined. Oh, they're there. They were getting water. Another regular blueprint. We'll grab some more bloaters. They'll hopefully flap over here into the water. Should probably look at skills for right now. Yep. So coded, we're gonna get you into, I guess, electrical engineering. Sophie, you're gonna get into your last skill point of obsidian mining. Yalp, you're finally gonna get into critter ranching, so we can actually do that. I'm gonna keep their hats the same except for Sophie. We kind of want to get this when it's pushing liquid out, rather than when it's pouring the liquid in. I think I timed that correctly. Depending on when a dupe comes over to build it. And in a few seconds it should start pouring in liquid. Yep, there it goes. So we may get a pressure damage from the tiles over here. I think we're at a point where this won't turn off anymore. Especially with the fact that we're still filling it up with more salt water that we're picking off the ground. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the stream for today. We are going to do our last prediction. Then we're going to save it after the autosave. We have 30 points in tops and 5,000 points of wallpaper, so hopefully we may or may not get another pair of gloves, because we've got 2 pairs of gloves already. And we have wallpaper. Congratulations to whoever did wallpaper. Hopefully that wasn't Oz twice in a row. Since I know that Oz is here. Oz, I swear, if it is you again. Oz. Oz. Did you do it? Oz. I don't know why I'm not getting the summary quick enough. The one time that Gino does not put 30 points in wallpaper, Oz apparently sneaks in, takes his place, and then gets all the points. Shame on you, Oz. I swear you have like Clay on phone and you're just telling them, hey, I'm on this channel. Can you get me the points? I swear. Alright, this is where we're going to end it for today. We did a decent amount. I wouldn't say we're self-sustaining yet, because we are still struggling on oxygen. Like, we're slowly just breathing out every pocket. And I'm just slowly digging into more and more as we slowly fill up with carbon dioxide. But we are at a point where I think we could survive about another 10 cycles before we run out of food, at least. We are still eating the mussel tongues, a little bit of salty sticks. We're only ranching one salty stick, or growing one. So we do have to dig more and figure out more of what we're going to do, but I'm going to do some research off stream on how the different plants and critters work synergy. And then when we come back, we should be getting through this a lot quicker than we are now. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're going to take our screenshot of our colony, which is probably as close to close to the entire asteroid. Yeah, we're about a third of the way discovered. Yeah, I actually started the stick command at the very top of the asteroid. So this entire thing is the asteroid. We are doing a spaced out size instead of doing the normal that we usually do. So we have the autosave. Let's do a hard save. And then save and quit. And then we're going to go into a raid out scene to see who we're going to raid out to. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.